This week on Barely Homesteading, nail down engineering hardwood flooring. So today we're going to be working on the last type of flooring that we have. We're here in the master bedroom and we are going to be putting in some nail down engineered hardwood. This is 1/2 inch engineered hardwood. It's got a actually larger than 2 mil wear surface. One of the larger or thicker surfaces I've found for the wear surface. And so we're going to be installing this in here, and then as I've said before, we will tell you how these different flooring types do over the long term, but first we got to get them installed. Alright, so we've got the carpet all torn up, tack strips removed, all the staples removed, have done a thorough sweep and clean of the floor. So now we're ready to check the flatness. And so as I described in an earlier video, what we're going to do is we're going to take an 8-foot long straight board and a 3/16 drill bit and see if we can put the 3/16 drill bit anywhere under the board to check its flatness. Now, per the specifications for this flooring, it's got to be flat within 3/16 of an inch in any 8-foot diameter, which is why we're using an 8-foot long board and a 3/16 drill bit. So one of the things we need to do before we level out the floor and get the underlayment down is we need to cut up all of the trim and the door frames so that the flooring can slide underneath that. It's going to be a lot easier to do that than to try to cut the flooring around the trim molding. So I'm going to use an oscillating saw, an oscillating cutter to do that. And in order to get the proper height, what I find is easiest to do is to actually use a piece of the flooring. Now, if you have a piece of scrap that you can use, that works best. But if you haven't laid any of the flooring out, you may not have a piece of scrap lying around. And so what I do is I will turn it over and use the back side to set the height of the saw. That way, if it damages the backside a little bit, you're not damaging the upper side and you can still use that board. All right, and then just to double check, take your board, make sure it slides under there. You don't want any hinderment of the board. And I've got there we go. All right, so that's cut up enough that I can get the board easily under there. It doesn't pinch, so it's got a little bit of room to move. And so that's what we need to do to the rest of the door frame and trim pieces for all of the openings into this room. So as we did on the other floor, We need to fill in the low spots and take off the high spots so that we get it down to, as I said before, 3/16 of an inch flat within an 8-inch radius. So right here, I've got a very localized low spot that we're gonna need to raise up, and we're gonna do that with felt paper, asphalt felt paper. And so we're just gonna basically cut sections to fill this in and build it up until it is somewhat close to flat. So we've got the flooring in, and it is looking really nice. We'll show you a full picture of it later. We're gonna put the baseboards in now, and we have chosen to go with just a solid baseboard, not no sort of molding, and it's going to give us a little bit of a cleaner look, I think, and more, we'll say, it's more of a modern look, but it's also more of a simple look. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to cut this, I'm going to miter the end to mate with the miter of the mating corner, and then I'll miter this so that when I overlap it, it'll not have a flat butt joint right in the middle of the wall. You want actually a miter joint overlaying where the two pieces meet in the middle of the wall. So let's get that started. All right, so when mitering the corners of your molding, the corner of your room is not going to be a perfect 90. Toward the floor, your drywall tends to bulge out. And so if you cut a perfect 45-degree miter and bring those together, what happens is the bottom of your miter will interfere with that bulge and your corner will stick out from the wall. So what you do, and I don't know if you can see this or not very well, but I've actually undercut the bottom of that corner. So I've left a little piece here that'll show on the top, but this undercut here will give it a little bit of clearance with that bulge in the wall so that it doesn't want to stick out, or at least not as much. All right, so the flooring in the master bedroom is done. It looks gorgeous. We're very happy with it. Now, we were working on trim and realized that the trim pieces that the previous owner had left were of two different thicknesses, so we didn't quite get all the trim done. I need to go pick some more up. But other than that, we are all done in here. So we're gonna start setting up the bedroom. Yay, we'll finally have a bed. So like the other flooring that we've talked about the past couple of times, we've been living with this flooring for about 6 months, a little over, and I absolutely love this flooring. We did this just in Mama Bear and my bedroom, but I love this flooring. It was super easy to install. It is an engineered hardwood, so it's a thinner plank. It's a 1/2 inch, and you don't need a standard flooring nailer to install it. You actually can use one of these flooring nailers. It is basically a standard nail gun with an attachment to get it at the right angle to install the nails. This particular one shoots regular nailing cleats, which is why I really liked it. So installation was easy. Did not take any special underlayment. There was underlayment that you need to put in, but nothing really special. And we got this entire flooring in basically in a day once we got it all prepped and leveled. It has held up extremely well and have had no issues with scratches, nicks, or dings. Now this is in a bedroom, so it doesn't get super high traffic. But these areas, the main walkway, for example, here where we do walk a lot, looks brand new. And the hickory, which is what this is, I absolutely love. It's a beautiful color. I love the color variations in the planking and the personality that this flooring has. So of the 3 floorings that we've put in, I would highly recommend this one. The other 2 were great, and we haven't had any issues with them, but for the look and feel of hardwood, nailed down hardwood, this really can't be beat unless you go up in price to do solid hardwood flooring, which is a significant price increase. So I would definitely recommend this. So when it comes time to replace flooring in the rest of the house, I'm definitely going to try to get this same flooring or a different flooring from the same company because of the way this is held up, the ease of installation, and the cost. The cost difference was really not that significant from the floating or the laminate that we put in the other rooms. And so when it comes time for us to do that, definitely going to try to go with this option if it's still available. So with that, this is Lumberjack from Barely Homesteading saying use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.